Hi guys. Okay, so this is the best beauty products of 2013 that I've come across. I can't believe how fast this year has gone by. Well, fast in some way, but then really creepy slow for me because, not to get into anything personal, as you guys know, but this has been just an incredibly tough year. Not emotionally, not like tragically tough, but just in some ways I just can't wait for this year to be over, or that's what I was thinking mid-year, and now it's sort of gone, and like this. And then other days I'm like, God, when is this year over? Because anyways, okay. So, as a lot of you know, starting from last year, maybe even before that, my YouTube days are really like dramatically getting reduced. I only film a couple of times a year, but I try and do like 10 videos each time so that it doesn't seem like I'm really kind of not unplugged, but I kind of am definitely unplugged. I don't even have time to watch people's videos anymore. Yeah. So anyways, there's not a whole lot of products like there have been in previous years, just because, you know, I was like testing out tons and tons of stuff and buying tons and tons of stuff. This year, not so much, but I kind of prefer it because it's a really sort of condensed list, and these are some of these things that I'm going to show you. I'm not really going to go into detail because I'm going to do a full-blown review on them, because there's a couple of things here that are like the best things that I've come across in years. Not just this year, but I'm like blown away. So let's start. Where do I start? Okay, skincare, I guess. Not a whole heck of a lot. I will show this one first. What the heck? That sounded so diva. Like, I will show this one first. Anyways, I will. Okay, so it's a HENRIKSEN Pure Truth Youth Activating Oil with active vitamin C plus A plus omega 369. Oh my god, it's got a whole lot of stuff in it. I first discovered it from a little tiny sample, and I loved it. I love vitamin C. If you guys have followed my channel, you know I go crazy over the CE ferulic, but anything with vitamin C, it just really has a glow sort of factor. Not with all skin for some reason, but for mine in particular, it really responds well to vitamin C. It really does have sort of a glow factor to it. This, I will say the one thing is the scent is incredibly strong, of an orange, kind of really citrus orangey, to the point where like the first couple of times I used it, my mouth started to water. You know when things are like super tart or super, they've got, you know it, like a lemon, as soon as I think about it, my mouth starts sort of watering, not in like a, ooh, I want to eat some, but just like tart, you know, that's kind of like this. It really stinks. No, smells. No, neither one of those sound good. It's a great scent. I mean, I love oranges, but it's very strong for those of you who are sensitive to scents. This is a very strong one, but I love it. It's a great oil. I think just coupled with the vitamin C a little bit, kind of, I feel like the oil is given a bit of a boost, sort of, you know, not so much. I still use my argan. I have ventured into oils more this year. I did do argan for quite a while, just argan. I didn't stray from that. And I still do use argan on certain occasions. Like I've always said, I listen to my skin. Some nights I'm like, ooh, let me reach for the argan. I feel like that's sort of what it's needing. So, you know, it's a relationship you have. Like with any relationship, it's intimate, you sort of know, and there's a shorthand. So I just sort of respond to what my skin feels like for that evening or day or whatever. So anyways, that's the first one. That's been a really good one. More oils. Well, actually, you know what? I just realized that 3 of my skin products, the only 3 that I've included, are oils. The next is the TATCHA Camelia Beauty Oil Gold, and it's got gold flecks in there. The bottle is amazingly gorgeous. It's got the stopper right here, so you can kind of press it, get the oil in there. I sort of do one of those doohickeys, and then there's like flecks in it. I love this for the luxury of it. It's certainly a luxury, like I find this is like a utilitarian kind of oil, and this is like a luxury kind of oil. The price points are obviously very different. The scent of this is so amazing. I didn't know that camellia flower smelled like this. I can't even describe it. It's just unlike anything I've ever smelled in my life. It has a different texture to it as well. It's like a lighter, I don't even know. You know, there's like the difference between like an olive oil versus like canola oil versus sunflower oil. You know, like they're all oils, but each one has a different sort of consistency and a body to it. Like I find olive oil a little bit heavier as an oil, but then, you know, like if you were to do this with it versus a canola oil that I use for baking, they feel quite different. This is on the lighter spectrum. It's lighter than the argan. I find argan when I put it on, it's very an oil slick. It's quite heavy. I love that. You know, I love heavy, thick creams. This is sort of like a more delicate, lighter oil. So this is like pure luxury for me. Not only just picking up the bottle, the scent is amazing. It's unlike anything that I've ever smelled. And the consistency is quite light. And I love sort of compounding that with my mister. I would have included that, but I found that a couple of years ago, so I can't really include things from like years back. So yes, that one is beautiful oil. The third and final skincare, which is another oil, is this honkin' sucker right here by CAUDALIE, and it's the Divine Oil. Again, luxurious. It would, price point wise, maybe these two are sort of similar. Maybe this is sort of like the mid-range. What I love about this is it's a spray. It's the first oil that I've come across that's actually a spray and not sort of like a pump or a dropper form. This actually does, like, what the heck? Yeah, it sprays. I don't know why I bothered showing. You guys know what a spray is, right? Frickin' hell. Okay, but what I love is the scent, again, is fantastic. I really can't place it. It's like, you know, florally, but then with chocolate or something. I don't know. It's amazing. You can use it for the hair. It's meant for hair, body, face, the whole shebang. Maybe that's why they give you such a honkin' bottle. I just used it for the face. I love it. I just love everything about it. And this to me is more like a dry oil. So it feels a little bit different. All of these oils sort of tend to feel a little bit different, which gives it its own sort of uniqueness and sort of, you know, that's why I sort of gravitate to one versus the other on a particular night or particular day. I tend to use this under makeup, like 1 or 2 spritz, but then at night I'll do like 4 or 5 spritz. It's all different, but it's beautiful. I love it. That is one of the best things I've ever come across this year. That oil is really, I'm kind of glad I ventured out of just straight argan. So those 3 are phenomenal oils, and there's one in sort of like every price point. The next is, where shall we go to? Okay, eye stuff. I think I found some of these products really at the very beginning of 2013, so it feels like I've had these for years, but as soon as I am wowed by something, I put it on a list so that I know it's straight for that year only, because I feel like I've had these forever. But they're the Tarte SmolderEyes, and I got one in copper and golden black. I think this is copper. I don't know. You know what? I think I mentioned this before. I rubbed that away, probably because my hands are covered in oil. Anyways, they are gorgeous. I mean, copper and black gold. They're kind of exactly what the name says. And once that sets, it really doesn't move. But what I love about them is just how easy they are. You know, I'm kind of a smoky eye girl all the time, and I'm, you know, sort of simple is best. One color. That's all I'm wearing today. Almost every single day I'll just wear one color, and I just love putting that on, and then just like with a synthetic, like one of Sam's brushes, Sam being the Real Techniques, you know, just sort of buff it in and I'm done. It's really that quick, that fast, and I love how easy, and the colors are beautiful. They're kind of my staples, black or like a coppery brown. So those are fantastic. The next thing for eye is this Nars Via Appia Larger Than Life Longwear Eyeliner. Okay, this sucker I have bought, I don't know when I discovered this, maybe mid-year or something, and since then I've had to buy like 5. because I go through them that quickly. Only for the fact that, as I've explained beforehand, there's so many eyeliners for different parts of the eye. My eyes are like tiny, you know, they're like little Asian eyes there. But there's like each one. For the lower, I use a different one. For the upper, I use a different one. For the lash line, in the lower lash line, or waterline, sorry, there's a different one. And for the upper. So there's 4 different pencils for 4 different parts of my eyes, even though they're like that big. It's ridiculous. But that's the one great thing about trying so many different products. You get to see where it works best. And this is an all-rounder. This is for when I'm up at like 6 in the morning and get home at 6 at night, 7. And there's very, very little smudging. I don't wear anything on the waterline on those days because that would just, even with like my best techniques, would be hard to upkeep, and I just don't want to have to worry about it. I don't want to get those like gunky things in the corners that I'm not aware of when I'm talking to people and they're just kind of like this with me. So this is, to me, one of those tried and true. I don't ever have to worry about it. It does work in the upper waterline, but not in the lower. I don't know why, but I will just do sort of like an upper, and this really is for the upper lash line. It lasts forever on me. I've tried a gazillion pencils, as you guys know who follow me for years. This is one of the best for that, but again, not for the waterline at all. I don't know why, but it just doesn't work for me there. Okay. The next are blushes. I will do a separate video on these as well, but the YSL, I think I showed them in a haul. I don't know, you know, I had a haul that took months and months to acquire those products, so even though it seems like I've only, you know, it might seem like I only tested it out because that haul video will go up and then another one will go up shortly after. I mean, I've had these for quite a while to play around with, and these 2 are amazing. That is number 1. They don't have any names on these suckers. That's what I'm wearing on my cheeks right now, actually, if you can see that color. And this is number 2, which is a pink. The first one is more of a peachy kind of pink, and the other one's more of a straight pink, as you can see. They're gorgeous. They're so easy to move. They feel phenomenal on the skin. It just gives you the perfect amount of color on your cheeks. They literally, I don't know what it is. They're like kind of like a, like I want to eat them. They're so creamy. Like when you kind of put your finger in them, they're just, the texture of them are amazing. And that's definitely one of the best finds. I wound up getting another one as well, but these 2 are the best shades that I've come across. The other one is more like a berry flush. So those 2 I definitely prefer over that third, even though the third one is beautiful. It's really the shades. It's so hot in here, I'm starting to go like, ooh. Okay, the other one is, oh no, I've got more blushes. I don't know, I'm not even really that much of a blush girl. I'm more like an eyeshadow eyeliner, but this year, the Chanel. Le Blush Creme de Chanel in number 62, Presage. And this is a very sort of like tangerine orangey looking color. I wasn't gonna actually put it on my list for some reason because I love the YSL so much. But then for like 2 or 3 weeks I started to use this straight, and then I was like, yeah, no, I have to include it. It's definitely worth a mention. I do prefer the YSL, but I think the Chanel is good enough to just be mentioned in the best of 2013. It really is fantastic. And I do one of those sort of, I put it on this finger, you know, kind of do this, and then use my other finger to rub, and then when I need more, just that, and I sort of build that way. It's beautiful to work with. The YSL, there's almost no building. You just go like this, and you're like, wow, it looks fantastic. With the Chanel, it does take a little bit of building, but it's also very beautiful, and it lasts. It lasts really quite a long time for maybe like 5 or 6 hours straight, which for me is quite a long time to not have to apply because my hair constantly like moves on my cheek and blah, 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 blah. So I think, you know, 5, 6, 7 hours is pretty good for a blush on me, especially a creamy kind of base. Another blush, people. This one is Burberry, number 1. This is the one that I mentioned in the other video, that the Burberry, oh God, I'm sweating. Can you see that? That is so disgusting. Okay. They were sold out of Blossom, which I've been on the list for like 8 months, and I'm never going to get because I just found out that Burberry is now leaving home rent proof. Why? But thank God, I think the products will last me for years and years and years. So anyways, she said this was her favorite. I was like, what? Yeah, no, I don't want to. And then she was like, no, let me just put it on you. I'm like, okay, fine. And you know what? It made all of the difference. She always says, don't look at the color. Let me put it on your skin and see how it works. That's the color. It's called Russed. And as I mentioned before, I mean, who wants brown cheeks? Oh yeah, your cheeks look so nice and brown. I mean, oof. But for some reason, it just brings out a warmth. It doesn't look brown. It looks like warm and it just brightens your face, but it gives it such a natural look. And it just, I don't know what it is. It is something that you will have to try on. I wouldn't suggest necessarily ordering these blushes online unless you see it on your skin. There is something about this line that you really have to see it on you to know how amazing it is. Okay. Whew, God, I'm just melting here, melting. Okay, I'm going to go pretty fast. The next are brushes. So the SHU number 10, Kolinsky Sable. Phenomenal brush. I've talked about it time and time again. Whoops, there you go. Dense in the middle, firm, but has some flex. It really is about that center density there that I love. The SHU number 18, Goat foundation brush. I love that small little head. Anyways, and the swirling, it just gives you a beautiful finish. And then any of the HAKUHODO brushes. There's a whole video on HAKUHODO that's already up. I just picked these two because they were handy, but any of those brushes, they're amazing. They're like any year that you're getting HAKUHODOs, they will be included in your best of because they're just that fantastic. Like so beautiful and so soft. The next are foundations. Okay, not necessarily, no, there's one foundation and one other product that I really don't want to talk about because it's so good. It has to have its own thing. The Rouge Bunny Rouge. This Time Defying, no, what is it? Age Defying? Time Defying foundation. Mine is in 053 in wheat. Do I have enough space for it? That's here, let me just spread that out. That's the color there. It's a pretty good match to me. It's yellow enough. It's a beautiful foundation. When I got a package from Rouge Bunny Rouge a year ago or something, not sure when it was, they had little samples of these foundations, and it took me a while to try them, and when I did, I was so blown away, and I said to myself, when I've done some of my foundations, this is the one that I'm going to get, because that, just the finish of it, the gorgeousness of it was amazing. I still stand by it. It's a beautiful, beautiful foundation. Medium coverage. I wouldn't say light, I would say medium and buildable to full if you want to, but it's just gives you a glow. Your skin looks amazing. It's fantastic. I'll do a review of the Rouge Bunny Rouge stuff. The next product is probably the best thing I've come across all year, and I'm so shocked. It was part of like a Dior sample pack or something. You know how you pick it when it's online? I picked it because I wanted to give BB creams another chance. I'd done a BB cream video like years ago, three years ago, probably one of the first videos on the channel, 3, 4 years, I don't even know when, but it was a long time ago. It was before BB creams really came into North American sort of beauty market. It was huge. It's been huge in Asia for years and years and years, and I was sort of late on the bandwagon for, you know, the Asian market. And then I probably got into it maybe 2 years before it hit the North American market. And in that video, I just didn't get them. I didn't like them. They were all gray or a weird pink. They were really thick, which I love, but it just gave you a really weird gray cast. It was such a weird product, and I just didn't get it at all. And since then, I've just, anytime it's been this whole BB cream phase here, my eyes just sort of glaze over, and I'm like, next, I don't even want to hear it. But there was a little sample packet, and it came with my order. It sat for like months. I was like, yeah, whatever, it's a BB cream. But, you know, I thought maybe I'll just try a North American sort of version of BB cream. Well, the first time I tried it, I was so blown away. It freaked me out. I was like, I've never experienced anything like this at all. My skin, I'm wearing it today, because I'm going out. So that is what the finish of the BB cream is, minus the sweating, people. But what is it? It is Dior. It's the Hydralife BB Cream. I've gotten it in Golden Peach. I'm going to do a full review, so that's all I'm going to say about that. But it really is, like, amazing. Okay, I have to really quickly finish because my hair is just falling now. Okay, Deborah Lippmann's Fashion. Amazing nude. It's got enough gray. Amazing. The next one is the Beauty Blender Solid. I've talked about this a gazillion times. That was sort of the best. And then lastly, for hair, more oils. I'm such an oil freak, but it's the OJON Rare Blend Oil. I got it in the blue and in the red. This is more for sort of heat protectant, it says, and this is for dry ends. Really, you only need one, but I was so blown away. I just thought, just in case it protects my hair more, I'll get the red too. But really, you don't need to have both. Amazing. OJON really is a brand that is so amazing to me because I came from washing my hair every single day up until I was about 35. Because I started to notice that my hair was actually starting to look dry and brittle and frizzy, and it looked just god-awful. I'd never seen my hair look like that. I could wash it every single day, all my life, all my adult life, up until about 35, 36, no, sorry, 38 maybe. And then it started to look so horrific that I had to go to washing it every second day, which was a real pain in the butt because I'm like a total clean freak. And, but in that interim, before I started doing that, I got clicked onto OJON, and within 2 weeks my hair came right back. And nothing. I used everything else to try and fix it and make it look healthy again. It really looked awful. I wish I had a picture of it to show you the difference, and within like weeks it was like right back to it. So I really, really do believe in this brand, and these oils are amazing. It literally takes 1 or 2 drops just on the ends, and you can feel it and you can smell it. The smell is amazing. I can't, oh my god, I can go on and on and on. But anyways, before I faint from heat exhaustion, that's my best of 2013. I hope you find it helpful in some ways, and I hope you guys all have a phenomenal start to 2014, and I will see you soon.